In 1871, Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicked over a lantern and started the Chicago fire. That fire burned down a giant part of Chicago, devastating the city but providing a big opportunity to redesign itself for the modern century. At that time, Chicago and St. Louis had emerged as major transportation hubs, connecting shipping lanes along the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River, moving goods all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Both cities had rushed to build rail lines and ports to solidify their regional power and connect the bustling East Coast to the wild, underdeveloped West. The World's Fair was a tradition that began in the late 1700s and showcased a nation's prosperity and innovation. Primarily held in European cities, New York was the first American city to hold a World's Fair in 1829, and the tradition quickly became a highly coveted title. For some weird reason, Philadelphia became the second U.S. city to hold the fair. But who cares about Philadelphia? So, after the Chicago fire and the massive redevelopments and those resulting innovations, most notably of which being the expansion of urban rail transport and development of the modern city grid system, the rivalry began. Chicago and St. Louis campaigned against each other to hold the next fair. St. Louis, who benefited from increased trade due to the many setbacks caused by the fire, began acting like a whiny little bitch and told everyone that St. Louis was better than Chicago, which is categorically false. Here is a fun fact. Many people know Chicago as the Windy City. Coincidentally, Chicago is very windy, but that is not how it got the nickname. Windy was short for windbag, a person who brags constantly about how cool they are. Chicago politicians were very outspoken about how awesome Chicago was and gained a reputation for it. It was during this period that the nickname was coined. Long story short, Chicago won the bid and became the third American city to hold the fair, cementing its place in history as the best American city ever and better than all the other cities. The rivalry between St. Louis and Chicago, solidified here, still exists to this day, with Chicago being clearly superior and leaving St. Louis full of bitter, querulous little people. You can thank the Chicago World's Fair for the Ferris wheel, Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, electricity in your house, skyscrapers, prefabricated building methods, and beautiful, natural, not super boring English-style gardens. All of these were invented and popularized in Chicago, no need to Google it. No one has ever questioned Chicago's awesomeness since then, and legend has it that if you do insult the city of Chicago, the ghost of Daniel Burnham will cut you.